Dat. What's going on, everybody? This is Tim Hurd, and you are listening to Tall Talk, episode 32. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. It's the long weekend up in Canada, Canadian Thanksgiving. The leaves are changing. It's really beautiful outside. I'm just looking out of the window in my new studio / where I'm supposed to be doing my homework now. It's just the spare bedroom, but there's no bed in it yet. Because Emma and I have had a lot of trouble with furniture in the past couple weeks, and I'm going to bring that up shortly. But it is sweater weather. So put on a sweater, sit down, grab a beer, and enjoy the show. What do we got this week? Oh, I got a couple beers because it is a long weekend. Multiple beer podcasts. No Angry Tim, though. Not for you. Not this week. No, this is... What do I have here? An Abe Erb beer, 1857 Kolsch style lagered ale. This is brewed in Kitchener-Waterloo area, and that brewery has been established since 2014. 4.8% alcohol. I got a tall can for us all, and there's a little description of the beer. Abe Erb is about independence and hard work. Well, this is about the brewery. We're here to do right by the old man because beer is his middle name. Locally made, tried and true. The 1857 Kolsch is our rendition of the classic colonial ale that blurs the line between ale and lager. It's a light, crisp, tasting introduction to craft beer that everyone will enjoy. Blood, sweat, and beers. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'm just going to go on their website real quick. I got it already locked and loaded for everybody. You can find them on abeerb.com. Like I said before, they have 2 locations, 2 breweries and restaurant, one in Waterloo and one in Kitchener, which is basically the same fucking town. What? How dare you say that? They also have a beer shop as well. Let's check out their contact information. So the one located uptown Waterloo is located 15 King Street South. Their phone number is 519-886-4518. Mondays, 3:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. till 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then they have another location downtown Kitchener, 151 Charles Street West, 519-954-0151. Sunday to Thursday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. And I don't think they're open on Sunday. You can contact them, like I said, with Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. They have a message box on their website. And they have weekly events. Mondays, Meatless Monday. Tuesdays, Flight Club. Wing Wednesday, Taco Thursday, and Fish Friday. They have a menu. Let's check out their menu. What do they got? It's loading. Everyday meals. They got the chef soup of the day, the cheese board. They got wings, a mussel pot, Scotch egg. I don't know what a Scotch egg is, but nachos. Every restaurant has nachos. Caesar salad. They got some burgers. They got some mains. They got some sandwiches. Ooh, Korean fried chicken. Don't mind if I do. They got some desserts. They got all kinds of stuff. So check them out if you're in the Waterloo, Kitchener area. And without further ado, let's crack this bad boy open. The first one. Beautiful crack. Gonna pour it into a glass. Pouring the beer in a glass. It's so wonderful. Look at that color. I don't like white noise, so that's why I'm talking like this. And we'll get into the podcast. Oh, this is a horrible pour. Whatever. Yeah, this is not a good pour. Just going to do it anyways. Going to get this coaster closer because I don't want to ruin my new desk there. And I'm back with my beer. I'm just waiting for some of the foam to fix itself because it's not the greatest pour. I'm sorry. I apologize. But no, it's sweater weather. Like I said, it's getting colder out there. My God, the weather's been shitty in London lately. Just raining nonstop. It was sunny for a bit, but I tell you, I woke up this morning and there was so much fog. I could barely see outside my balcony. And if you follow me on Twitter, you saw that I did my daily weather report for London, and I posted a video of the fog. It was scary. I didn't know where I was. I thought I was in Mordor or something. It was fucked up. Anyways, the weather's just been nonstop raining and cold. It's actually not that bad today. I think it's the high is 25, but bad things are about to happen. Winter is coming. Anyways, I'm supposed to drink this beer and tell you all about it. God, that's the whole point of the podcast. All right, I'm just going to go for it. Cheers, folks. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat lots of turkey and mashed potatoes, because I love mashed potatoes. Oh. One more sip. It's not bad. No, it's good. It's all right. Oh, yeah. It's very light. I like it. It's a light beer. Just tastes like a normal Kolsch to me, but like the can's beautiful. It's got some sort of map. I think it's a map of Kitchener, but no, I check these guys out. Like I said, there are these people out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and like I said, if you're in the Kitchener Waterloo area, go check them out. Not bad beer. I'm gonna pour the rest in the glass. I don't think I picked the best glass for this. Oh no! There's just foam all over the place. I'm sorry. I made a mess. I shouldn't have done that. I swear to God, it never happens, but it does. What's been going on this week with me? Well, of course, I'm in school, nonstop assignments. Work is going great, Got my first paycheck. Woo! $14 an hour, minimum wage. Fucking love it. There's nothing better than minimum wage. I'm so happy Doug Ford said, nope, no $15. Timmy Hurd, he wants 14. He said it himself last week. Boom, done. Making that Skrilla. I don't know. I'm making a bit of money, which is good. Couple $100 a week. Not bad. Anyways, yeah, what else is happening? Oh, God. So, holy shit. Wow. And we're back. So, like what I was saying before with this week, Emma and I have had some issues with furniture. And so we got a couch from a nice store in London Fine Furniture. Great store, great selection of furniture, and we needed a couch for our apartment. And we found one that we really liked, and we ordered it. And we ordered it custom made because we measured it and we're like, oh, it's definitely going to fit into our apartment. But like most people, when you buy a couch, they don't ask you, oh, what's the height of the hallway what's the height of the ceiling in the hallway? And so we're like, they didn't ask us that, and we didn't think about it. So last week, the movers came in with this couch, and it wouldn't fit. It wouldn't basically get out of the elevator, and they didn't use the service elevator. They used the regular elevator, which I don't understand what they were thinking. And when they took it out of the elevator, it damaged basically all the ceiling tiles in the hallway because they had it up long ways. They didn't have it because that's the only way it would be able to fit in an elevator. And these guys are like, oh, man, you're not going to be able to get this couch. You're not going to be able to get this couch. I'm like, well, that's fucking bullshit. We paid for it. Like, come on, you got to figure something out. You're movers. I'm not doing your job for you. Like, this is what you get paid to do. And so these guys they just basically leave the couch in the middle of the hallway. That's a fire hazard. Superintendent comes. He's like, get the couch out of here. If it's not going to fit, you can't do it. Blah blah blah. And so, anyways, they take the couch back. This Wednesday comes, and the movers of the actual store, not just a moving company that was subcontracted, show up, and they check everything. They're like, okay, I think it's going to be able to work this time. These guys actually use the service elevator. They get it out of the elevator smoothly, don't damage any ceiling tiles or anything. and they get it to our door. But then this is the tricky part. The legs don't come off or anything, and it's not fitting. But these guys did a hell of a job. They worked like for like hours trying to get it into our apartment. Nothing was getting accomplished, so they had to take it back. And Emma and I are stressed out because we already purchased this couch. It was custom made for us, like with like this certain leather color and whatnot. And we were scared that we were gonna be out of money and with no furniture or no couch. Luckily, they called us being like, "Hey, what's going on? Yeah, so we're gonna order you a new couch that's shorter." They asked us to measure the hallway, the door frame, and our hallway in our apartment to make sure that this bad boy will actually fit into our apartment. So now I think they're going to cut off 8 inches, so we'll be able to like work smoothly through the hallway, and they're going to make sure that the legs are able to come off. So that's a big thing for us because we don't have to pay for another couch, and that we get one that we will love forever because it just fits so perfectly in our apartment. It's just the wall is looking for something to hang out with, and I'm so excited. Sweater weather. Sip a beer. Only problem is we're not going to have a couch until maybe Christmas because the last one that we custom made took about 2 months. So the guy said, well, it's a custom made couch again, so it's going to take a couple more months. So I guess we'll just be hanging out in the island that we have it in our kitchen. You know, like, why not? I mean, like, it's awesome. It's a great little area, but slight hiccup in the apartment. But you know, it's at least we don't have to double pay for a couch. And yeah, that's about it about that. I mean, that was the most stressful thing I dealt with all week, and now I'm here. Been doing lots of homework this weekend, and not going home because I have to work as well, make some money, get some more training shifts out of the way. And yeah, that's about it for me. What else is going on? Well, some interesting news happened today with the whole Brett Kavanaugh thing. He just got voted in from the Senate, 50-48. And now he's the new justice of the Supreme Court for the U.S. What do you feel about that? I mean, it was a tight vote. One senator dropped her vote. I don't know why. She just dropped it, and he got in by 50-48. And there was a lot of protests all week, and there was protests inside the gallery at the Senate during the vote, and a lot of people are upset about this, and I understand why. So if you don't know, Kavanaugh has a lot of sex allegations, whether you believe them or not, and this lady came forward. What was her name again? Ford. Her last name is Ford. I know that. And she came forward and said that this guy, Kavanaugh, assaulted her sexually. And some people out there don't believe it. And people would just say that she's a liar, which, believe it or not, like, allegations are allegations. And this guy, like, he's going to be in the Supreme Court, for God's sakes. Like, even if he has allegations towards him, even if you're Republican or Democrat, you should think about this. Being like, there's a lot of allegations against this guy that he did something to this lady, and you have to realize that, well, maybe she is telling the truth, or maybe my dear friend Brett Kavanaugh is a fucking rapist. And so you have to think about these things. But obviously, majority of the government in the U.S. is run by old white men. Old white men. Most of these white men still believe that coal is a reliable source for electricity because, it's going to increase jobs. And even their president thinks that as well. I just don't understand what goes through these guys' head. These old men who just continue to elect and bring in these guys that have allegations on them. And what is that message saying to young boys around the States. It's basically telling them that you can do whatever you want to a girl. You can do whatever you want. And all these old, God, like there was the senator from Alabama, when he went on Fox News there and said his two-piece. He says, the Democrats are a goddamn racist bunch. They're filled with witchcraft. He just said all this bunch of crap. And he's like, they don't drink water. All they drink is alcohol. And he's just going on, and the anchor's laughing at him. He's just going on. I just tell you, those Democrats, they don't know what they're talking about. This lady made up bullshit. My boy Brett Kavanaugh is the best man in the world. He would never do that. Think of his family. Well, what about that girl's family? What about the amount of years that she had to not bring that up to her because she was worried about that men such as this guy were going to bring her down? She came out, and even President Trump, this fucking guy, right after the hearing, was like, oh, I'm so happy about her coming out, and she was so brave. And then he goes to Mississippi, hangs out with a bunch of Republicans, and then he's just like, oh, was it one beer? Was it two? I don't know. She has no idea what she's talking about. Brett Kavanaugh is the greatest man of all time. And you're just like, what is happening in the fucking States? I don't understand what is going on. Like, how the hell this guy is going to be a judge. And even if you have allegations against you, you should not be anywhere near politics, and you should not be anywhere near the law. You broke the law, whether you believe it or not. And even if you deny it, it doesn't matter. People out there don't trust you. You should not be in that power. You should not have that kind of power. And it's fucking terrifying. I'm terrifying for women and men that have been through sexual assault in their life. And now it's terrifying because it just basically shows that even if you are a young boy or a young woman, you can get away with sexual assault because it's fine. Because even if you do it, and even if people come forward and say that, oh, this guy raped me or she raped me, it doesn't matter because you can get elected to become a judge. Like, I don't understand how it was even that close. Like, why is the state so behind in the times? It doesn't make any sense. I've brought this up before. I just watched Mudbound. It's a movie about racism in Mississippi in like 1940, like right after World War II. And that same shit that happened in that movie is still happening today in that fucking country. I don't understand. I don't know what the hell is happening anymore. Like, fuck. Like, I can't believe this guy was even considered. And as soon as the allegations came forward, he should have had to step down because it's happened with multiple other people. They get confronted with their past and shit hits the fan. And then they have to step down and move forward. But this guy, no, he can't. He doesn't do anything wrong. And all of a sudden, people are protesting. Oh, that doesn't matter. They're just crazy. The Me Too movement's crazy. They're all lunatics out there. And then all of a sudden, boom, this guy gets elected, and now he's a judge or a justice or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Holy fuck, US. Figure your shit out. I'm telling you. And I know there's people in the States that listen to this, and I don't care if you get mad at me. That's just like, if you have any common sense, you would realize that this should not happen. And how the fuck is it continuing to happen? Like, I don't understand it. And I'm going to stop it there because that's all I have to say about it. But I'm very shocked that happened, and I'm sure majority of the world is. And the States is, in my opinion, it's a fucking mess. It's just an absolute. I'm gonna have a sip of beer because I can't stop talking. I don't know what I'm saying. Moving on. What else happened this week? Oh well, Mr. Premier Ford is out there gathering endorsements, not endorsements, but he's going to province and getting support for were getting rid of the carbon tax, the federal carbon tax. He was in Saskatchewan this week. He met up with the Saskatchewan premier. What is the Saskatchewan's premier's name? Excuse me. It's like premier of what's his name? Scott Moe. He recently, Premier Ford and Premier Moe recently got together and they had a press conference and everything, and about how they are going to work together to try to get rid of the federal carbon tax, or trying to get more provinces on board to get rid of this tax. Now, it was brought up by the Liberals, I'm pretty sure, a couple years back, but Ford has been going around making sure that people are agreeing with him, or not agreeing with him, but trying to get rid of this carbon tax. And what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on this carbon tax? I think personally they should scrap it, and I'm glad that he's going around trying to get support from the provinces, and we'll see what happens, because it is our money that's getting taken out of our pockets. And yeah, this is I don't know. That's all I have to say about that, I guess. I don't know, man. I've just been doing a lot of homework, and I have a bunch of assignments due on Tuesday when I get back from the long weekend, and I'm thinking about that shit, and I wasn't really prepared for this podcast, so that's on me. But that's all really I have to say about Doug Ford and him. He was going around trying to find people and get support, and he was hanging out with the Premier of Saskatchewan. Anyways, I found an article on Twitter about, this is local news, because there's a municipal election going on in London right now, and I'm pretty sure in all other cities as well. But I've brought this up on past podcasts about campaign signs. So whether you like them or not, if there's an election, they're going to be there forever until the election's over. And someone went around in London and started destroying a bunch of them. Like thousands upon thousands of campaign signs for our councillors and mayors were destroyed this week. And I don't think they've found anybody. And so for one of my assignments, I had to go out and ask people questions. And I asked them about how they feel about campaign signs. And without further ado, I'm going to stop talking for a second, and you will be able to listen to what people have said. All right, I'll be back. London has an upcoming election. Many candidates use signs to help advertise for their campaign. How do you feel about signs being scattered all over the city of London?
There's too many of them. So wherever you go in certain corners, there's always a bazillion of them, and it's just kind of hard to sort of pick through which one's which.
I find not only is it clutter, but the amount of money that is spent to put it on is ridiculous. The message to me would be much better in any other format than putting signs all over the place.
I have mixed emotions about them, only because from an environmental standpoint, I know it's extra waste, but actually having a friend that's running in this election who I think would be fantastic, I think it's important sometimes to get people's names out.
I think we should take the ball and build shelters for the homeless, because they're made of plastic.
The signs are clutter. Even when I'm driving down, I do find it a little unsafe. It's almost like as a distraction. So I definitely don't like that being on the road.
And we're back. And that was a bunch of people that I had to interview on the street for one of my projects. And I interviewed a bunch more people, but those are some of the best answers that I could get. What are your thoughts on these campaign signs? Like, for me personally, I've said this before, they need to get rid of them. I don't understand why they still have them, and where do they go if you win or if you don't win? Do you just hang on to them, or do you just throw them out and continue destroying the ocean like most people have been doing, me as well? because majority of plastic, I mean, where does it go? What happens to it? And I just find that there's no need for having campaign signs all over the place. Like, I went down one road and there's this one guy running for mayor. His name's Ed Holder. And legit, every couple meters, he had a sign for like Ed Holder. Vote for Ed Holder for mayor. Vote for Ed Holder for mayor. And this was constant until I turned left or until I turned off the street. And I'm like, this is getting out of hand. It really is. And it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. And then what the one lady said was just like, we get rid of them all and use them to make homes for the homeless because they're made of plastic. And I was just like, you know what? That's not a bad idea. And majority of the people that I asked, they were against them. There was only that one lady who said she had mixed reviews because she had a sign on her front lawn and she was in support of someone that was running. I get that. But at the same time, you can advertise on social media. I think more people check their phone for Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff instead of just instead of walking around being like, oh, you know what? I saw a sign that said vote for Ed Holder. That's who I'm going to vote for. And it may be one of those things that it's just like, I don't know who to vote for. Then you look outside and you see a name. It's like, hey, whatever. Why not? I'll vote for that person. But to me, it's just a bunch of trash. I hate to say it. It's fucking garbage. And especially when London has a bunch of councillors and wards. I think there's 14 wards in London. So there's every single ward has like a bunch of people running in it, and they all have their own signs. I mean, if you work at Vistaprint, you're laughing. You're making all kinds of money. Good for you. But and then there's 14 candidates for mayor, and they all have their own signs, and they're all over the city, all over the fucking city. It's just getting out of hand, man. And I want to see them in the next couple of years just get banned or just be gone because I am tired of seeing it. So yeah, and like that was why I brought up that one article about somebody destroying them, because they clearly hate them, and I don't blame them. Oh yeah, I had to do another one of those assignments. I actually just finished it today, and I'm going to bring it up on the pod too. And I think a lot of my friends that lived in Sudbury will agree with some of the people, because I'm going to bring up their answers as well. I asked a bunch of people in London, because London has 2 train tracks that go through it, and it's frustrating when you're trying to get to class and you're going to be late or work or anything. Because one time I was going to class and I got stopped by a train, and I literally waited 30 minutes, and then I crossed that track, and then the other ding 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 goes down, and I had to wait for another train. So in Sudbury, they have the Killer's Crossing, and they have downtown. The train goes right through it. Other trains do it as well in other cities. What are your thoughts on trains? People in Toronto, they probably have to deal with this as well. Should there be more overpasses or tunnels? What do you think? And you're going to be, right now, you'll hear from some people and what they think. All right, I'll be back in a second. London has 2 train tracks that go through the city. How does this affect your daily commute?
It doesn't bother my commute, but for certain businesses, definitely bad. But at the same time, if you were to build an overpass, that's just more construction that the city really doesn't need.
In the area, just the area that I do, you got Richmond Street, and then you're over at Waterloo and Colburn area. It affects that. Other than that, it's not too bad. It's just when they get the really long delays up in here, it can be a bit of a pain, because when you're behind, you've got no choice but to sit.
It affected me. I think 10 minutes off your life waiting behind a train, you'll be fine. Just sit and meditate. I don't know.
Should we build an overpass and underpass? Yes, maybe. Depends on the cost. Depends on whether it's actually going to make anybody save 5 minutes. If it's saving you 5 minutes on your commute, no, that's not worth the cost. I live in the North End, so yes, I come across the tracks every day.
All the over and underpasses possible would be great.
What we need is to have the trains be able to bypass probably, I think it's St. George Street, It's the one that's farther down, or Talbot Street. I think it's Talbot Street. If that underpass was enlarged, basically a lot of the traffic could go through there.
And we're back. And that it was some people that I interviewed actually yesterday about trains going through the city of London. And I actually stood by one of the train crossings downtown on Richmond Street and got some great answers. I asked one of the UPS guy he's constantly driving, and he can't stand them. You heard from him as well, and he says, like, if there's a train and it's long, you're there waiting for a long period of time. And I actually got an interview from a former urban planner, like the last guy you heard in that interview clip. He used to be in part of the planning department in the city of London, and we ended up talking for about 15 minutes about certain issues that London has and other cities that they have. Like there's so many urban planning issues in any city, but he was talking about trains in particular and how there needs to be more bypasses, and they need to get rid of these trains because these tracks have been here for years. But at the same time, a lot of people were like, well, why would CN and CP and VIA pay for these tracks to get removed and go on the other side of the city? Like that's not going to work out for us. Like they're not going to pay for it because it's just business for them. Like, and their offices are in town, so it makes no sense for them to have a bypass. But I tell you, man, because trains are so unpredictable, you never know when they're going to go through the city, and it is a nightmare. If you like, it doesn't matter if you leave or work early. You're like, oh, I got 15 minutes. I can go grab a coffee at Timmy's and whatever. And then all of a sudden, boom, train. And one time I was waiting for the train and it just stopped. It just stopped and sat there for 10 minutes. And I had to pull a U-ey and go the other way and try to avoid the train as much as possible. Like, should major cities or any city in general have trains go through them? Especially when things that happened in the past, the thing that happened in Quebec, I forget the town's name, but that major explosion that happened in Quebec with trains and whatnot. Should trains in today's time should they be able to go through cities, or should there always be bypasses? Ask me the question, answer the question, or whatever you feel like doing. Email me. Let's talk about this because I'm really want to know what people think about it, because in my opinion, like maybe it's because of my tunneling background, they need to figure it out, because people do not like to be late, and especially when everyone's busy, everyone has their own time frame and life, and no one likes to be stuck behind a train. It fucking sucks. So what are your thoughts? What should be done with trains going through the city? And I had to deal with this when I lived in Sudbury. Ottawa, I was kind of building a subway system, so I was always around tracks. But Sudbury is the same thing. Like you can get stuck behind fucking CP or C. I'm pretty sure both lines go through too. But there was one area which I brought up with Killer's Crossing, and it's fucking insane what's going on with this intersection. I have no idea what's happening, but I tell you, man, it's dangerous and it makes people late all the time. So that's about it. What I have about news. I mean, I talked about the Brett Kavanaugh thing, and I hope I wonder if I'll trigger anybody after that, but I don't really care. I'm gonna have a sip of beer. Oh, that was more than a sip. I just drank the whole beer. It's gone. Good thing I have another one. Another one. We the best! Damn right we are. Do you hear that, McLovin? McLovin sent me a Snapchat today of him watching Too Fast, Too Furious. I don't understand why that guy still pays for cable, but, sometimes you hungry and you gotta watch cable. And Too Fast, Too Furious was on TV and he watched it. Good for him. I'm pretty sure he has it on DVD or Blu-ray or something. Or he has it backed up on his laptop. But when it's on TV, you gotta watch it. But fuck, I was jealous when I saw that Snapchat because I love that movie. I don't care what you say. Too Fast, Too Furious is a damn good movie. You want to know why? Greatest quote line in movie history came from that movie. I've brought it up multiple times, and I'm going to say it again, and I will continue saying it. Too Fast, Too Furious has the best line in all movies. Boom. Get at me. Get at me. Do you agree? Probably not, but I know one person that does. McLovin. Like I said, we hungry. That is by far the best line. And I want to hear, like we said, we hungry. I want to hear your best, like I said, we hungry. Come on, get at me. Get at me, people. Get at me. Do you agree with me or not? Is it the best line in movie history? I think I'm right, and I know I'm right. And McLovin will defend me on that. Boom. We got to get McLovin. Holy shit. Emma just scared me. She's like right behind me on her phone like, hey, what's going on? Are you heading back to night shift? Are you excited? Tell the people, are you excited, yes or no?
No.
Why aren't you excited?
I'm tired.
But you slept for most of the day, didn't you?
I slept for 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours. You are tired. But I gave you a vanilla latte. Aren't you excited about that? What are you doing with my phone? What did I do? What's wrong?
I'm trying to fix the Netflix password so I can watch it tonight on my break.
You're going to watch Netflix at work?
On my break.
Wow.
On my break.
Wow. Takes my phone and is watching Netflix at work. I'm just joking. On her break. On her break, people. Break. That is the key word, break. Emma's been on nights the past couple of days, and if anyone's been on night shift before, it is the worst. Night shift sucks, and I'm actually happy that she doesn't have to do 5 in a row that I used to do. Fuck, I can't believe I even was able to do that, but yeah. Night shift's brutal, but someone's got to do it because emergencies happen 24/7. What happened here? Woo! Another beer, people. That's right. Double beer, multiple beers. Let's go. Here we go. Pouring the beer. I don't like white noise. Oh, I'm making a mess. Fuck, I can't pour in this glass. Fuck. Well, that was a horrible pour. I'm just gonna drink some of it out of the can, out of the Abe Erb can. Waterloo, 1857 Kolsch. It's nice and light, like I said. I like it. I dig it. I dig it. What else is going on in the world? Not much. Oh, NHL hockey is back. It is back. The Calgary Flames lost their home opener. Well, it wasn't their home opener. They played Vancouver, the worst team. Well, in my opinion, I fucking hate Vancouver. Everyone's like, well, you're a Flames fan. You should hate Edmonton. It's like, yeah, I hate Edmonton, but I don't like Vancouver. How can anyone cheer for Vancouver? I don't get it. I don't like that team. I never have, and I never will. I hate them. I don't like them. I fucking lost to them. God damn it. Anyways, yeah, so the NHL season is back. No more preseason. Preseason basketball is still going on. I think I covered that mostly last week. I don't really want to talk about sports because I don't really know what I'm talking about. And, yeah, what else is going on? Oh, well, I guess because it's that time again. Coming up next, the beer news. The news about beer. All right, see you shortly. Peace.
Beer, 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 beer. Oh, when we get together, just me and all the lads, everyone remembers all
the beer news, folks. The news about beer. That was, of course, Molson Canadian's commercial of Bubba Kegs. Need I remind you of that commercial? I brought it up last week. But what is the beer news this week? Let us bring up the fact that, what do we have here? So, should parks allow, oh, Jesus Christ. Drinking in Canadian parks being considered ahead of pot legalization. Say what? Say what? So we all know October 17th is coming soon. It's getting close to the big day that everyone's excited for, whether you smoke weed or not. But a lot of people, a lot of cities in Canada, some such as Vancouver, Toronto, feel that Canadian cities should allow parks to have public consumption of alcohol. Now, I believe you're allowed to do it in Montreal and in other areas of Quebec, but you can't do it in cities like Toronto. And so a lot of people believe, such as Toronto Mayor John Tory, they think that it should be allowed. No, yeah. So like, even if it's just like a glass of wine or a couple beers here and there, it's not like not going out and getting fucking wasted. Just like, all right, we're fucking at the park. We have a 2-6 of Canadian Club. We're going to fucking drink that. And then we got a 2-4. We're going to slam that. Then we're going out with the boys. No. That's what he's trying to get at. It's just like, like going out and have a couple beers, see what's going on, and then go have a little picnic, maybe a couple bologna sandwiches with a lovely box of wine. Why not? I mean, this whole pot legalization thing, that's coming up soon, like I said. And if they're allowed to smoke weed wherever they fucking want, or wherever you're allowed to smoke cigarettes, why can't someone just crack open a bottle of wine? A little glass of wine didn't hurt anybody. I mean, what do you think about this whole legalization of marijuana to begin with? What's going to happen with that? Are the police going to be able to take care of everyone that smokes weed? I don't know. Do they have enough resources to take care of it? What's going to happen? So I get how some mayors are bringing this up because it's a good idea. It's not a bad idea. I mean, like, I wouldn't mind being able to go to a park and it being acceptable to just crack open a beer. I don't see any harm to it. Like, it might get out of hand where, like I said, people are just going to get fucking completely shit-faced. But that's going to happen regardless because people love to booze. It's all about the hardcore boozing. Ho, 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 ho. Oh, yeah. So what are your thoughts? Tweet at me. Email me. But that is the beer news of the week. That certain cities in Canada want to have people drinking in their parks, or the thought about it happening. Is it a good idea or not? I say, why not have a glass of wine when you're having a picnic downtown in a public park? Why not have a couple beers while you're waiting for a friend? Or why not have a couple beers to loosen up before a fucking Tinder date when you're walking around? I'm not on Tinder. I'm just saying there's still people that are on Tinder and Bumble that like to go out to parks and go for a walk. Hey, what do you want to do? Oh, let's go for a walk at a park. Oh, good thing is we can bring beers. Why not? So go for it. Drink in parks. Do you like it or not? It happens in other countries. You're allowed to do it in Europe. That's not a country. I know it's not, but moving on. What else do I have to talk about? Oh, right. I tweeted before this podcast started and I said, what's on people's mind? I'm about to do episode 32 and I got a question or something. I think it was from Trent. What did Trent say? Okay, so my question was, heard that, gearing up to record episode 32 of #Tall Talk. What's on your mind? Have any questions for the tall man? And this is what Trent said. Why did Luke think it was a good idea to hide his lightsaber in R2, relying on a massive, seemingly random chain of events to only get it at the last possible second to have not only Han, in brackets, original plan, but also Leia, Chewie, R2, and 3PO. So why did Luke think it was a good idea to hide his lightsaber in R2? That is a good question, Trent. Let's go down the Star Wars road for a second. Oh, someone commented on it. Oh, Curtis had a gif because McLevin doesn't like Star Wars. It's icky. It's gross. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. It's not Fast and Furious. There's no cars, and my Mustang's not in it. It's bullshit. He has a gif of, what's that guy's name? In Family Vacation or Christmas Vacation. Okay, that's enough of that. And then Trent replied, you don't even know what movie I'm referring to. You banned all space movies / shows since they canceled the Mighty Ducks animated series. Shots fired. I'm liking that. I like both. They're good guys, but Mighty Ducks animated series, I watched it. I'm pretty sure Trent did too. He's probably just pissed off because they didn't have anything about the Detroit Red Wings. Oh, there was no animated series about the Detroit Red Wings. They're too bad. They're too busy winning Stanley Cups. And am I right? I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm getting real aggressive. I just got a little bit louder too because Emma left for night shift and the party is about to fucking start. We got beers. Might do a shot. Maybe Angry Tim will come out. You never know. The fucking beers are fucking flowing. Huh! It's Thanksgiving weekend. It's the long weekend. It's the holidays. You got to do what you got to do. Anyways, to answer Trent's question, why did Luke think it was a good idea to hide his lightsaber in R2? That is really weird. So what he's referring to is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And so if you ever seen the movie, at the beginning of the movie, I'm not even going to say spoiler because everyone's fucking seen it. Everyone's seen this fucking movie. Come on. So what happened? Well, except for McLovin. He's the one person that hasn't seen it. So what happens is Luke goes to Jabba the Hutt, who's this big fucking weird looking worm fat guy. And he has Leia chained up and she's wearing a bikini and that's like made out of metal and stuff. And then R2-D2 and Han Solo and all those. For whatever reason, R2-D2 is working for Jabba the Hutt because they did a trade with Luke and stuff. And they're about to get thrown into this pit that's like this little eating worm thing. I don't know. There's like this thing in the ground that they're throwing Han and Chewie and Luke in that's going to take 10,000 years for them to get digested. And Boba Fett fell into that thing as well, if you were familiar to the scene. So why is it necessary? What was the question again? I don't fucking know. Oh yeah, so Luke hides his lightsaber in fucking R2, and R2 just goes beep, 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 and goes in there and he gives him the old salute. He goes, "Oh yeah, salute to R2," and then he jumps off and then does a little flip and then catches the lightsaber and does it all over again. Like, I'm pretty sure he could have done that at the very beginning and then, like, I'm not answering this question that great, but why did Luke think it was a good idea to hide his lightsaber in R2? I don't know. I asked George Lucas, Trent. It's not. This is a good question because I'm getting fucking triggered right now about it because I don't know why. Trying to get into the mind of George Lucas is very difficult. Just look at Phantom Menace and pod racing. I'm a person and my name is Anakin. Anyways. Yeah, so it wasn't necessary. He could have easily killed all the Hutts and stuff before that, and he could have just had his lightsaber because he has the Force and he can just always just use the Force to get it. And I don't know. I don't know why he needed to hide it. It doesn't make any sense. And so, to answer your question, Trent, I don't know, and it shouldn't have been done, and contact George Lucas for more information. Other questions. I posted a story, because you know you can do that on Instagram. It's like, ask me a question, I'm bored. What do you think about my new purse? And so far, a whopping number of people haven't even looked at the story. Because I got 2 accounts because I'm so cool. Let's look at questions. Oh, one from Meg Tizik, who was the one who made my logo for me. She's like, are you a real life giant? Hashtag talk about tall talk. Well, I am a real life giant. I'm glad you asked that question because so when I was in university, no one believed that I was 6'6". Also, my roommate at the time, Trent, didn't believe that I was 6'6". This was in first year university. I just recently measured myself again. I am almost 6'7". So suck on that, Trent, and your fucking Luke Skywalker question. Yes, I am almost 6'7". I grew a bit, and Emma was the one measuring me, so there's witness there. But then I was curious about my wingspan. My wingspan is like 6'8". It's fucking insane. Like, I should be playing basketball. I literally should be playing basketball because I have all the qualifications except for I can't jump and I don't know how to play the game of basketball because I never have it in my life. But I should be playing. So, am I a real life giant? Yes. But can I do most giant things? No. I can't play basketball. I can't dunk, and I should be able to with that wingspan and the height that I am. But I am pretty fucking tall. That is a crazy height. It is ridiculously tall. And, I'm okay with it, Everyone's just like, oh my God, you're so tall. You're so tall. You're just the tallest person in the world. Like, not in the world, but like the tallest person I've seen in a while. You're crazy tall. Oh my God. I am tall. And yes, I am a real life giant. And those are the only questions of the week. I'll check real quick my email, but I doubt it. I doubt no emails for this guy. God, I've been struggling with some communications. You need to interact with people. Nope, no emails. And what else is going on? Oh, I got to bring up something else also. It's time for hashtag defend the den. Hashtag Team O'Brien. Hashtag Wolfpack. Toronto Wolfpack, people. They're playing a game tomorrow. The £1 million game against the London Broncos. They're playing at home, and it is for all the marbles, I believe. It's the big game. And what is happening on the cat's playing? The cat's being weird again. She likes to do this thing with all the trim and just like she likes to peel the trim off the fucking wall because she's a cat and that's what cats do. They like to annoy the piss out of you. But anyways, the London Broncos are in Toronto tomorrow, or they're probably in Toronto already, to face the Toronto Wolfpack. That's right, big game. Check them out on Sky Sports. I know that's in the BC and Britain in the UK. But they'll also be on CBC Sports. You can live stream them on YouTube. Check out the game. This is the big one, people. Hashtag Team O'Brien. Hashtag Defend the Den. Hashtag Air Transit. Hashtag Wolfpack News is done. That's right. Anyways, what else do I got to talk about? Well, I'm looking outside and I'm seeing a lot of sketchy people. I live in a sketchy neighborhood. Like, I'm looking outside right now, and I can visually see a soup kitchen and the line pick up. But this area is really, really, really sketchy. Like, there's people like straight up doing crack in the middle of on the sidewalk right here. It's a nice apartment building and everything, but the area kind of broken. Anyways, that's about it, folks. I've ranted enough for 1 week. I don't think this has been the greatest podcast, but I don't really care. You can follow this podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Tall Talk Podcast. If you want to follow me, my personal account thereby, you can go on to Instagram, HerTimothy90. You can subscribe to the podcast at SoundCloud, YouTube, and iTunes at Tall Talk Podcast again, right there. And if you have any questions, email me, talltalkpodcast@gmail.com. That is it. We're done. Have a great week. And until next time, folks, it's been a Timbo Slice. Peace!